Good evening and thanks for joining tonight. Think back. What did it take to land your first full-time job? There was education and training, high school, trade school, a university. Then there's the process of actually getting hired, filling out the application, getting through the interview. In the end, it comes down to someone giving you a shot, a chance.
Talk to someone who might be hiring. Maybe they're watching right now. Why should they hire you?
I think they should hire me because I do like to pay attention to small details, and I do consider myself a creative person. So with the full-time code immersion, you would need to pay attention to the small details.
There's no question you can do the job, right?
That's correct.
Can't wait to get started, I bet, right?
Absolutely.
It's going to happen soon, I hope, right?
We can only hope so, but good things come to those who wait.
That right there is Ash Caldwell. We're going to hear more from him coming up in just a moment. But we can tell you his path towards employment is a little different. Doesn't make him less capable. Ash has autism. 1 in 59 are on the spectrum. And while a lot of the focus, rightfully so, is on children and early diagnosis, more and more people are starting to pay attention to what happens later in life when those kids become adults. Not all those with autism are able to support themselves, but many can. They are bright, trainable, and very often some of the most focused workers you will find. Despite that, 85% of those with autism who have a college degree are unemployed.
So if you think about all the superficial things that are involved when somebody is being selected for a job, so, did I give you warm fuzzies? Did I make really good eye contact? Those things are just naturally just not easily done by somebody with autism. And so one of the challenges is, let's hire somebody, let's require the skills for them to do the job. Let those match what your interview process looks like.
Lindsay Burkale works for Advocations, a local organization helping those with disabilities get into the job market. Almost a year ago, we told you about an effort here locally. A program was being launched to teach those with autism coding and other computer programming skills. It brought together Advocations, Autism Speaks, and Tech Talent South, a company that teaches those much-needed tech skills. Some of the first to go through the program are now graduating.
Remind folks how it all started.
We are a women-led 12 campus-wide boot camp for students. We're teaching, in-demand tech skills, and we had noticed that about 1 out of every one of our 2 classes had someone on the spectrum in it already. And we thought, hey, if we can partner with Advocations, we can actually develop a program to get these people through and get them the tools they need to have the best experience and come out with the right outcome.
It's not something you just throw together, though, right? You have to think it through. What were the sort of the challenges?
To make it work efficiently, we really had to do some education within our classroom, right?
Sure.
We needed to educate the instructors, we needed to educate our classroom organizers, and we developed what we call peer navigators. Folks within the classroom that go through some learning modules, they understand the needs and of the folks on the spectrum while learning themselves. And then, of course, we have the support of Lindsay and Advocations.
Explain how Advocations helps in this process of putting this all together.
Yes, so we worked with the instructors, helped train people on kind of the ins and outs of autism and how, at the end of the day, really just creating a more streamlined communication process to make sure that as people are getting information that, it was appealing to all different learning types.
Sure.
And through that process, we learned about, the way the curriculum was designed was already very visually driven, so we didn't have to do a whole lot of modifications related to the curriculum. It was more about dealing with things that you don't know that popped up. So it's all of the outside things. That's why the social coach was incredibly important for some of the students, because they would get the content, it was just all those other things. And that's what we were preparing people for most.
We need to give these young people an opportunity. That's all they need. They can learn, they can do the job. It's us getting over sort of our preconceived notions, right?
Yes, it's always, it's not you, it's them. But if we think about the things that we do that aren't intentional but create barriers, significant barriers. We always say, the skills to get the job should be the skills to do the job. Why are we always looking for warm fuzzies in a job interview when somebody's going to go on a computer and start coding?
And we need to think outside of the box and look for the folks that have the skills and give them the opportunity to interview for these roles. The second they get in the door, they get the jobs. It's getting in the door that's the challenging part.
Well, these kinds of things don't happen without support. The program received grants from Autism Speaks and GameStop, a store that has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for efforts like this.
It's so awesome to know that what we're doing at GameStop is helping these individuals with autism and on the spectrum. It literally gives me the goosebumps because you know that they have a career, you know that they have a future, and not even for their own, I think, comfort and knowledge of what they're going to do, but think about the parents who've been caring for them all this time, who now know that, hey, there's something for my child out there that is going to be able to help them, and they're going to be able to be out there and take care of themselves.
To give some of those young people opportunities.
Absolutely.
Employment, that's what they want, right?
Yes, that's all they want. I think, you know, to them it's a peace of mind, and I also think that it continues their learning and it continues their education, and it's just a great program out there to help them, and like I said before, even their families and their siblings, and then even to be an example for others who have autism, not to be afraid to get out there and do it as well.
And give them a chance.
Yeah.
And your company's proven that. If you give them a chance, they can succeed. And it's not just pure altruistic. I mean, you're getting good employees out
Absolutely,
there, right?
yes. We have many autistic associates within our stores, and they love it. They love to talk about games. They love to talk to the customers about games. So they're a perfect fit. They do very well in our business.
But now comes the big part, turning that training into opportunity. Who will give these new skilled grads a shot? It may just take, again, rethinking the interview process. Those with autism often struggle with social skills. But in the end, you may get a really good employee, someone like Ash.
Tell me about the class you just went through. How hard was it?
The first course that I took was an eight-week long course called Full-Time Code Immersion, where they just taught us the fundamentals of coding, and they went everywhere with coding, from simple HTML to actually app developing.
What is it about that intrigued you, that you liked so much?
With coding, you had to pay attention to a lot of little details, because the smallest error in coding and whatever you were trying to run would not work.
To get this opportunity to go through this class and to get this training, you know, what does that mean to you?
I think it opens up a lot of doors because you're learning new skills, and this is something that can be resume worthy to impress employers of coding companies, to let them know that you have the knowledge and the skills to do such tasks.
If an employer is watching and they know you have autism, right? What should they know about that? And does it matter in any way?
With autism, it is a wide spectrum. I mean, you have people on the high end like myself, but then you have people on the mild and even severe end. For people on autism as a whole, there's more to it than just having autism.
Yep. Just give you a chance. You can do it.
Right. Look past autism and look more at the other strengths.
So maybe you have a job opening. If so, email me at askjamie@wbtv.com. We will put you in contact with Ash and others who are looking for work.